Hello and welcome to IELTS online classes with Banke. My name is Banke Adewuse and I am the professional teacher. I help my learners achieve their learning goals by breaking down hard concepts into simple, easy to understand learning points in a fun, relaxed, engaging, and learner-focused atmosphere. In today's lesson, you are going to learn how to write a full task 1 letter, formal letter for the general training. If you are doing the academic training, you can check out the video lesson on the review of a full task 1, yes. So moving on, this is a question from Cambridge 15 Test 4, and this was submitted by a student for my vetting, correction, review, and assessment. Most times, students have to go back to retake the IELTS examination because they did not get their desired band score in the writing module. So this full task review series on writing module has been created so that you will learn how to write the various types of tasks correctly that earns you a band 7 plus. You can even get a band 8 in the writing module, just like this student here, right? So the question says, you have seen an advertisement from a couple who live in Australia for someone to teach their 2 children your language for a year. Write a letter to the couple. In the letter, explain why you think you would be suitable for the job. Say what else you could do for the family. Give your reasons for wanting the job. When you see a question, the first thing to do is to identify the type of letter in this particular question, because it is asking you to apply for a job. It tells you automatically that it is a formal letter. Your introduction will be coined from the background facts given in the question. The area in green box is the background fact, and of course the bullet points come afterwards. Now note that you must address each bullet point in separate paragraphs. Your opening and closing must also be reflective of the fact that you are writing a particular type of letter. If you write an incorrect opening for a particular letter, you are not going to get your desired band score, because you are telling the examiner that you have incorrectly interpreted the question. For a formal letter, the correct opening is always dear sir or madam. The correct opening is always dear sir or madam. Look at it here. You see, dear sir or madam. Dear sir or madam. Nothing else. Okay? And then you put a comma. So for this entry submitted by one of my VIP students, this is the first draft in response to the question. So after correcting it and making some corrections, I corrected the fact that the first bullet, the letter it lacks proper explanation and extension. And you will notice that in the first bullet point, there's just one sentence with improper punctuation. And also, in a paragraph, you can't have one sentence making a paragraph. You must have at least 2 sentences. Okay, so punctuation issues, a letter that lacks proper explanation and extension with relevant ideas is a no. So after correcting the first draft, correcting the second draft, this is now the third draft. And in this third draft, she's making this mistake of writing dear sir or madam or ma in the opening, and you don't use ma. In the first draft, she did well to say dear sir or madam, but here she's saying ma. So you don't write ma, you write dear sir or madam, because the recipient is unknown. You don't know whether the person is male or female. This is an application letter, this is a formal letter. Now, the introductory paragraph is coined from the background statement, which I showed you earlier. And for all formal letters, start with the phrases I am writing is in response to, or I am writing with respect to, or I am writing as regards, depending on what the background fact states in the question. It's okay to say I am writing in response to your advert. Remember, in the first draft, my student said announcement. Okay, this is not watching a TV program where announcements are made. This is a newspaper publication. And so you say, I am writing in response to your advert in the Daily Post Australia magazine. Daily Post is a proper noun, and so the first word, the first letter, that's D, should be in uppercase, not lowercase. Okay, because it's a proper noun. On the 20th of January 2022, requesting for the services of a language teacher to coach their children in my dialect, not in your dialect. Student wrote your, so you say in my dialect. Okay. And it's also safe to now write the second sentence and say, I hereby wish to apply for the job, full stop, so that makes this two sentences in the introduction. It's okay to have just a properly constructed sentence for the introduction and then move on to the body paragraphs to address the bullet points. Do not spend too long a time on the introductory paragraph. Simply paraphrase the background statements given, and that will be sufficient. Okay, so this is wrong, right? Now, moving on to the first bullet point. The first bullet point question says, explain why you think you will be suitable for the job. This is like asking you to sell yourself. So what is the reason you want the job? You can list about 3 ideas, then choose from the ideas which one you think you can explain and extend without breaking a sweat, without thinking too hard on it, because you are in a race for time and the examiner wants to see that you have properly articulated your thoughts. For your first bullet point paragraph, remember I said that you should dedicate a paragraph to each of the bullet points and leave a line space in between, a single line space in between. If you are writing a paper-based test, you leave a single line space. But if it is computer-based, this is the area where you have the single line space between paragraphs, right? So one of the reasons that makes me consider myself as fit for the job is that when you see those words in red ink, those are my own corrections. The students' words are in black ink, right? So one of the reasons that makes me consider myself as fit for the job is that I have the requisite skills and competencies to enlighten children. I've underlined that part of the sentence because it sounds too ambiguous to say you have skills and competencies to enlighten children. And why would you say enlighten children? Enlighten is not the appropriate word to use here. So I will strike out this enlighten, okay? And moving on, continue. Yeah, because I am dependable, friendly, patient, and trustworthy. So I have punctuated that trustworthy with a comma to show that there's a pause there. Qualities which I believe makes me suitable for the job. Also, I am very hardworking, as there was a time I had to teach my nephew for a period of 11 months. And look at, I put a comma during the first phase of COVID-19 lockdown, comma, when there was total restrictions. You can see the corrections I made with respect to the punctuations and sentence construction. When you address your bullet points, you must ensure that the first sentence in that paragraph is responding directly to the question posed in the bullet points. Now, let's quickly go back. The question says, explain why you think you will be suitable for the job. So when you list your ideas, you want to coin the sentence in such a way that it's not just a simple sentence. You can read up on sentence structures to better understand what sentence structures are. I might just create another video entirely on sentence structures. You should look out for that, and you'll definitely be notified once you subscribe to this channel and the video is up. You'll be notified. So if you have not subscribed yet, please hit the subscription button. Just click on it, click on subscribe, and you'll be subscribed. It doesn't take more than a second. And turn on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified once new videos are up. So your first sentence in that paragraph is addressing that question in the bullet point directly. They say, why do you think you are suitable for the job? You say, one of the reasons that makes me consider myself suitable for the job is that I have the adequate experience to deliver on the job. Then you give relatable examples. One of the ideas that a student mentioned when I was holding this as a Zoom class is that experience. You've probably taught in a school before, and you taught a language, your own language. So you've gained experience over the time, and this makes you most suitable for the job, right? Okay. So I said here that there's an idea versus explanation mismatch. What is the relationship between having the requisite skills and competencies to enlighten children and that you are very hard working, or that you are dependable, friendly, and patient? Is being dependable, friendly, and patient, can we say those are skills? So you don't want to be saying things you want to communicate your thoughts articulately such that the examiner can make sense of what you have written, right? So there are soft skills, there are hard skills, but in this case you are talking about your skills. What are the skills that you have that makes you suitable for the job? That's the question. Explain why you think you are suitable for the job. So if this person has written, I have great teaching skills, because ability to teach and impart knowledge is a skill, just like I am doing right now. Not everybody can teach. So you want to communicate that clearly. You have great teaching skills, you have the experience. Those are two ideas already, and you want to be able to write them in such a way that it is responding to the question, and then you explain it further. So that's what I mean by idea versus explanation mismatch. Make sure that your idea and the explanation you give to it match, and you should do that in all the bullet points. See, so as a trained community health worker, which I have 2 years post-graduation experience, I could assist in monitoring the growth of your children by calculating their body mass index once a month, and also give advice on eating and living a healthy lifestyle to the household, if you don't mind. So this part of the paragraph is, the sentence is improperly constructed. There are punctuation errors and there are idea versus explanation mismatch. Being a community health worker and explaining that you can assist in monitoring the growth of the children. This particular paragraph is responding to the question of what else you could do for the family. There are a whole lot of things you can do for the family, such as helping to babysit their children while they are away at work, or doing grocery shopping for the family. And these are relatable ideas. But saying because you are a community health worker, you will be monitoring the growth of the children, is you can't really monitor children's growth. You really can't monitor children's growth. And this is also an idea versus explanation mismatch. So make sure that you are explaining your idea, and they should be simple ideas, not so vague and ambiguous. They're simple, relatable, everyday happening general ideas. So the question has not been answered. And then you don't use contractions in a formal letter. This is an example of a contraction. Don't. Never, ever use contractions in a formal letter. It's a no-no. Everything should be written in full. Instead of writing don't, you should write do not. Okay? Now, to the last question in the bullet points, and ensure that you answer all the bullet points. Otherwise, you will not get the full marks for task response. Give reasons for wanting the job. In the first draft, the student says the purpose of seeking this post is because over the years being into this, and I have acquired more knowledge by updating myself through continuous education, which helps me to improve myself. Is that the reason for wanting a job? You ask yourself, why do I want this job? It could be real, it could be imagined responses. These are everyday life events. This is why it is called general training. So coming up with ideas will not be difficult for you, and you will definitely not be given questions that you have no idea on. I always advise students to have an idea, know a little about everything and everything about a little, but in this case it's safe to know a little about everything. So you want to ask yourself, why would you love to take up the job? So in the third bullet point, students write, I would love to take up the job because I have more than 10 years of experience as a professional teacher. And I noted here that this is an irrelevant idea. So if you, through your write-up, you are having irrelevant ideas, improperly constructed sentences, improper and inappropriate punctuations, use of contractions, failing to explain and extend your ideas properly, using relevant ideas, and explaining and extending those ideas, you are not going to get your desired band scores, right? So you must come up with ideas that respond to the question in such a way that it is very clear. It is very clear. Okay? So this is an irrelevant idea. And in the last line paragraph, this is the last line paragraph for all your letters. You must always have a last line paragraph. I've called it last line because you don't just jump directly to writing the closing. You have to write something like a last line paragraph between the third bullet point paragraph and the closing. So here you say, thank you for your time and consideration of my application. I look forward to hearing. So you want to use a a a word that has a continuous, that is in the continuous tense. Hearing. I look forward to receiving your response as regards my request, depending on what the question says. But in this case, this is an application. So you say, I look forward to hearing from you at the earliest. And then here is the closing. In the closing should be such that it is simply yours faithfully, and you put a comma. Then you write a full name. The full name doesn't have to be your name. Just look for an English name. Then don't make the mistake of putting a full stop in after writing the full name. It is very wrong. So you don't put a full stop. You just write the full name and leave out the full stop, right? Don't add a full stop. And that's the full vetting for this particular question. You want to attempt this question taking into cognizance all the corrections I've made, and once you're done, submit to my email IELTS-Banke at gmail.com. Send it to IELTS-Banke@gmail.com. That's IELTSBANKE at gmail.com, or reach out to me on my WhatsApp line 08037594881. I take it again. Reach out to me on my WhatsApp line 08037594881. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay safe and cheers. It's Banke. See you in the next video.